Admiral Zethkar's mandibles clicked nervously as he studied the primitive human vessel, floating defiantly before his flagship. The Dominion's Wrath, a kilometer-long dreadnought capable of glassing entire continents, should have been more than enough to intimidate these upstart mammals. Yet here they were, a single human frigate named Defiance blocking passage to their own homeworld. "They're broadcasting again, Admiral," reported Communications Officer Veltan, her voice trembling with disbelief. "Put it through," Zethkar growled, his four eyes narrowing to slits. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force. Her dark eyes burned with quiet intensity, and despite commanding a ship barely 1/10 the size of his, she showed no fear. "Admiral Zethkar of the Galactic Empire," Chen began, her voice carrying across the void with crystalline clarity. "This is your final warning. By unanimous vote of the United Earth Government, all Imperial vessels are hereby prohibited from entering Terran space." "Turn around now." Zethkar's thorax vibrated with what his species considered laughter. "Captain Chen, you seem to misunderstand the situation. The Galactic Empire spans 14,000 star systems. Your single world means nothing to us. Stand down, and we might allow your species to serve as auxiliary troops in our expansion campaigns." Chen's expression never wavered. "Admiral, you seem to misunderstand humanity." The transmission cut. Zethkar turned to his tactical officer. "Scan their vessel again." "What are we dealing with?" "Sir, the human frigate mounts only conventional kinetic weapons and primitive energy shields. Our smallest destroyer could." The officer's words died as every sensor on the bridge began screaming warnings. Space itself seemed to ripple around the human vessel as dozens, then hundreds of ships materialized from what appeared to be empty void. "Impossible," breathed Zethkar. "Our scouts confirmed Earth had no significant fleet." "Sir," the sensor operator's voice cracked, "I'm reading stealth signatures across a sphere 30 light minutes in diameter. They've surrounded our entire fleet." On the main display, Captain Chen reappeared. Behind her, the bridge of the Defiance hummed with quiet efficiency. "You're wondering how we did it," she said conversationally. "Your empire has spent millennia conquering species that fight like you do. Massive fleets, overwhelming firepower, brute force tactics. But humans, we've spent our entire history fighting each other. We learned something your empire never did. Sometimes the best weapon isn't the biggest one." Zethkar's claws extended involuntarily. "You're bluffing. No civilization could hide a fleet this size." "We didn't hide a fleet, Admiral. We hid an idea." Chen smiled grimly. "Every human colony, every asteroid mining station, every deep space habitat, they're all armed. Your scouts looked for traditional warships and missed the truth. Earth doesn't have a fleet. Earth is a fleet." The display shifted, showing tactical readouts. Each blip represented not just a warship, but converted civilian vessels, mining rigs mounted with railguns, cargo haulers bristling with missile pods, even luxury cruise ships now bearing military transponders. "The freighter that delivered supplies to your forward base last month? That was us. The survey ship that sold you star charts? Also us. The merchant vessel that provided exotic materials for your weapons? We've been watching, learning, preparing." Zethkar's confidence began to crack. "Even so, your improvised vessels cannot match Imperial military technology." "You're right," Chen agreed. "Ship for ship, you outgun us. But there's something else you should know about humans. We cheat." Warning klaxons suddenly blared across the Imperial flagship. The tactical display showed Imperial vessels throughout the system suffering simultaneous critical failures. Power cores overloading, navigation systems failing, weapons arrays going offline. "Those exotic materials we sold you?" Chen's voice carried a note of satisfaction. "They were designed to interact with specific electromagnetic frequencies. Every Imperial ship in this system is now experiencing what we call catastrophic technical difficulties." "This is treachery," Zethkar roared. "No, Admiral. This is human." Chen leaned forward. "For 3 billion years, life on Earth has been defined by one simple truth: adapt or die. We adapted to ice ages, plagues, wars, and each other. We turned every challenge into a lesson, every defeat into knowledge. The Imperial fleet was in chaos now. Ships drifted helplessly as their crews struggled with failing systems. Only life support remained functional. Another human touch ensuring their enemies survived to remember this day." Your empire conquers through strength, Chen continued. But strength without wisdom is just violence. We learned that from our own history. We've moved beyond simple conquest because we had to. Our own survival depended on it. Zethkar watched his magnificent fleet reduced to scrap in minutes. What do you want? What we've always wanted. To be left alone. Chen's expression softened slightly. The galaxy is vast, Admiral. There's room for everyone, but Earth and all human colonies are now under our protection. Any Imperial vessel entering Terran space will be treated as hostile. You cannot monitor every system. We don't have to. Chen smiled. Remember those merchants, surveyors, and freighter crews? They're everywhere now. In every port, every space station, every corner of the galaxy. Watching, waiting, ready. As if summoned by her words, reports flooded in from across Imperial space. Human-operated businesses were closing their doors. Trade routes dependent on human logistics were grinding to a halt. Scientific expeditions relying on human expertise found themselves abandoned in deep space. The Admiral's tactical officer whispered urgently in his ear. Zethkar's expression grew pale. Sir, the officer said aloud, we're receiving similar declarations from 17 other species. They're all demanding Imperial withdrawal from their territories. They're coordinating with the humans. Chen nodded approvingly. We didn't just prepare for this moment, Admiral. We organized for it. Turns out a lot of species were getting tired of Imperial rule. They just needed someone to show them it was possible to say no. The implications hit Zethkar like a physical blow. The Empire's strength lay not just in its military might, but in the galaxy's acceptance of its dominion. If other species began following humanity's example. This is not over, he snarled. No, Chen agreed quietly. But it's begun. The age of empires built on conquest is ending, Admiral. The age of cooperation is beginning. You can either adapt to that new reality, or history will leave you behind. She paused, her expression becoming almost sympathetic. Humanity extends an offer of friendship to all species willing to coexist peacefully. That includes the Empire, if you choose to evolve beyond your current path. The transmission ended, leaving Zethkar staring at the disabled remnants of his once mighty fleet. Around him, his crew worked frantically to restore basic functionality, while human vessels maintained their silent vigil. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Galactic Empire had been told no, and made to listen. In the depths of space, humanity had just rewritten the rules of galactic civilization, not through conquest, but through the simple revolutionary act of refusing to be conquered. The message spread across the galaxy at light speed. Earth had spoken, and the galaxy would never be the same.